Joining us now is a man who played in the NBA for 22 years.
Long time.
He called games fantastically for TNT this year. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamal Crawford.
Yeah! What's up, y'all? What's good?
Hey, congrats on a hell of a season on the microphone, pal. I know you're not calling any more games. You did great.
Yeah. I appreciate it. It was crazy because not only being up there with the legends, but just like Kevin Harlan's the voice of 2K. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like the soundtrack of basketball as we watched it, as we played it. So to be up there with them and then be gracious enough to allow me to be up there was really cool.
Yeah, really cool. And really good games, it felt like, and really good series and really good stories. Let's start in the West. Let's chit-chat about the West. This Minnesota Timberwolves team has become, a sensation. Every clip of Anthony Edwards speaking, whether it's in the locker room, at a press conference, is going viral. People say, this guy's the new face of the league. Yeah. This guy's entertaining. He's funny. He's a dog. Wears his hat sideways. Doesn't give a shit about what anybody has to say. Do you feel like that's one of the biggest stories of the NBA, not only through this playoffs, but through the entire season as a whole? This Minnesota Timberwolves team seems to be like America's darling at this point.
They are, because they were the underdog, but they have a face with him. And it's crazy watching them in person. His fearlessness gives the whole team fearlessness. Like, they all believe they can do anything. He gives a certain swagger and a certain confidence. And he's authentic. And we all connect to what's real. You know what I'm saying? So he's very, very authentic. His game is loud. He keeps you on the edge of your seat. He takes the challenge. He's a dog, but he's leading the pack of wolves as well. And I mean that like sincerely, because yes, the Timberwolves, but they roam as a pack. They cheer for each other. If you watch their interviews, even him, he's always bigging up somebody else. The next person is always talking about the next person. And for them to be as good as they are, like they get after you.
I don't think I've gotten to see, I saw one Minnesota Timberwolves game, but it was vastly different than what it is now whenever we were out there for the Super Bowl.
Right.
Lil Jon was performing at halftime. That was the big story of the game. And Lil Jon brought it. Still had his fastball. Now, you just brought up something there. He's a dog who's leading a pack of wolves. They're the Timberwolves. Are they howling in there? How's the atmosphere? I assume it's pretty absurd.
It's absurd. We were in Denver, and it felt like we were in Minnesota towards the end of the game, because they're becoming the darling. Like you said, like, people have to respect what they're doing. They play hard-nosed basketball. Their coaches, he's out there, he's on one leg, he's still behind the bench, barking and encouraging them. So they're special. Like, they play as hard as any team I've seen in person in the playoffs. And a lot of teams go on offensive runs, they go on defensive runs. And that's why I asked them, I'm like, well, who's their third best offensive player? They're spitting out names. Oh, it's this person, it's that person. I said, no, it's their defense. Because once they get stops, they can go on a run that is special. And they can go on, 7, 8, 9 stops in a row, and they're scoring on the other end when everybody's involved.
And Rudy Gobert's hitting turnaround jumpers. Let's not get crazy.
Oh, it's over. When he's doing that, Pat, it's over with. We know when he's hitting turnarounds and going off the glass with the fillet and hitting free throws, like, it's over.
Hey, Anthony actually said that once I saw Rudy Gobert hit the turnaround jumper, I thought we were okay. I thought we were going to be okay. After the game, there was a moment between you and Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards that obviously garnered a lot of attention on the internet. What were you saying here? I assume you're just talking about how proud you are of both of these dudes? Is that the conversation there? Yeah. How close do you get to a full series?
Yeah, because I actually played with Cat. And we went to the playoffs at the time. It was the first time in 14 years in Minnesota that went to the playoffs. And I was just telling him, like, bro, right now, the way you're playing, it's winning basketball. Like, it's bigger than numbers. You're doing every little thing. We know you're a star. We know you can get 30 at any time, but you're doing the little things to help win. I was just proud of him. And me and Ant go back. I was talking to him a couple years ago. And I told him during text, like, hey, it's your time now. And this was a couple years ago. And he was like, man, he was only 20 at the time. And so I'm like, fast forward. I said, I told you, it's your time now. I said, but now you're like the voice of the young person, the young generation that's coming up, right? And I'm like, you got to keep pushing the game forward because this is your opportunity. And he was like, I got you. But I remember just the text we exchanged a couple years back, so it's been dope to watch his growth as well.
Yeah, hey, good eye. This guy's a scout. This guy's a scout. Mm-hmm. He's got a good eye. He knows what he's looking for. Need a Space Jam out of Ant soon.
Ooh. Yeah.
Next generation.
Uh-oh. I see what you're doing, Pat. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, he's not going to – hey, it's going to be better than the last one. He's a they're not going to go back-to-back with bad ones, but he is also a thespian. I mean, he is great. He's a great personality. Go ahead, AJ.
So tonight, Pacers taking on the Celtics. Like, is there one or two matchups that you're trying to focus on that you think are pivotal in this matchup? And does this Pacers team have to shoot 78% from the field to win in the playoffs?
Yep.
Do you feel like they have multiple different ways to win?
We have, just by the way.
They do have multiple different ways. They're known to get up and down the court and play with speed, but I think what Pascal Siakam has brought to them is somebody who's a three-level scorer, somebody who can play in the half court. When things slow down in the playoffs, he can go get you a bucket. People forget he's a champion, so he knows what it takes. I feel like there's a moment of truth in every game, and that's where the moment can go, okay, it can go from 10 to 20, it can go from 10 to 2, and he understands that moment of truth. Okay, I gotta be more aggressive. If you look at his last game, he had 11 in the first quarter and only ended with 20. But he knew as a veteran presence to set the tone. I need to be confident and comfortable to get these guys confident. And he did that. For the Celtics, I think, honestly, their biggest opponent is them. What I mean by that is this. When they're up by 20, the ball's moving, everybody's touching it, it's all good. When they get in tight games, that's when they start going one-on-one. The offense bogs down, and then the other team has a chance. So they gotta beat the disease of me as far as, like, I'm going to be the guy to beat him. It's got to be a team thing for them. If they can do that, they'll be in good shape.
A lot on Missoula's shoulders, keeping the boys team-oriented. Seems like they have been, though, because the conversation has been, are they going to be able to go? Just know that they will shoot 78% if they have to. That's Indiana Pacers basketball. D-But's got a question for you, Jamal.
Yeah, speaking of, we've kind of had eras in the NBA, the big three era. I feel like we're kind of in that big two era with some duos. Got some great duos left with the Final Four. Obviously, Brown, Tatum in Boston, Kyrie, Luka. Halliburton, it could be Miles, it could be Spicy P. Who is the best duo right now? Obviously, Ant and Cat, who you're close with. Who's the best duo right now going forward, who you kind of, put a ticket on?
I would say the best duo could be, I would go with Ant and Cat. I'm thinking Kyrie and Luka as well, because I think they're honestly the most skilled backcourt ever. But I think Ant and Cat have it figured out. And they haven't figured out that Ant, you didn't even know he was 6 for 24 because the energy he plays with, the enthusiasm he plays with. And they know who they are. Like, they really don't care. They don't give a crap about nothing. And I love that about them. Like, they really do not care. They're so fearless, and they're like, and they don't know what they don't know, and I think that's a gift for them as well. So I'm gonna go with Cat and Ant-Man right now.
Okay, so let's stay in the West. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Jamal. Speaking of Kyrie, obviously right now everyone's very high on the T-Wolves, and for good reason. They beat the defending champs. They look great. They have all these guys who are kind of starting to learn more and more about now. But on the other side with Dallas, Kyrie, he's obviously been a lot more of a kind of a leader and kind of taking a back seat to Luka. But do you think the Mavs can win this series if he continually is only scoring, anywhere from 9 to 15 points a game like he did in the last couple games against Oklahoma City? Or is he going to have to kind of expand his scoring output? Like, is he going to have to start going for 30 in some of these games for Dallas to be able to beat Minnesota?
I think right now he's playing possession basketball. And what I mean by that is he's just playing the possession. Like, if it calls for him to make a pass, he'll do that. If it calls for him to score, he'll do that. Oh, okay, it's the moment of truth. Let me go get 10 straight, like only I can. And it's going to be a loud 10 where it feels like 20 because Kyrie's a magician. I think it's going to take some of both, because to beat Minnesota, you've got to be able to score. They have multiple defenders. They're connected defensively. And it's going to be Anthony Edwards matching up with him, but he's going to see 5 different sets of eyes. So he's going to have to have those scoring bursts for sure. I think a little bit more consistent to beat them than he did last series. But he's also going to have to be able to trust as well when he gets 3 people to drop it off. And I think he's at a place mentally where he's making that play every single time. But to your point, he's going to have to score more this series if Dallas is to win.
Let's talk about Indiana high school legend. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Jamal, it's not 22 seasons, but Mike Conley is getting up there. And all the talk is obviously about Ant and Cat and Gobert. But what do you think Mike Conley brings, like, as a veteran who I believe was traded halfway through last year to Minnesota? What do you think he's done for the team this whole season in that playoff run?
He's been one of the most underrated. I played against him in the playoff series, actually, with Memphis. When he was with Memphis, I was with
Clippers. 1990, what was that? That
was, here you go, Pat. Here you go.
I didn't know. I was trying to remember. It was in, it was kind of like, it was like 6:20. Was it?
Yeah, I could barely see the TV.
Yeah,
you could barely see it. It was still black and white. But he brings another coach on the court. I think he brings what Fisher brought to Kobe. I mean, obviously, he's a vet, and Fisher and Kobe are the same draft class, but he brings a calmness to him. He's somebody who can be like, nah, not right there. You got to look at this read, or you got to make that read. He brings a calmness to their team. I think one of the only games they got blown out in the series, this last series against Denver, he didn't play. And he's like a stabilizer. He can feel when things are not going right. He can feel like, okay, we need to look for this. And he can feel who hasn't gotten the rock in a little bit or what they need to do. So I think Mike Conley is better than his numbers. He's always been one of the best teammates. He's always been one of the best leaders. I just love who he is as a person. And guys like him make your whole organization better, not just the team.
What is it? The good guy brand? What was the good guys?
Something like that.
Good guys finish first. Yeah.
Is his brand, I think. It makes sense. It seems like everybody's. He's been in a long time, dude. Long time. Had a full career in Utah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now here we go.
Hey, I just saw that jumper, Pat. If me and you get in a shootout, I'm not sure. I may treat you like I'm going to do Gilly when I play him one-on-one. That jumper looked kind of funny right there, Pat.
Oh, that's because it was my left hand, because I was doing journalism of Conley.
Good Lord.
Okay?
PK.
There you go. He shoots right-hand floaters, though, Pat. You have the freedom to shoot that right when you're doing a floater.
Okay, well, I'm strictly right-hand shots. Me and B-Stu doing the same shit. Hey, listen, do you know much about the W? I assume you do.
Yes, I know something about it.
Brand new. So I'm not talking too much about it.
Too new, they would say.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people
What you got?
saying I was exactly too new.
Too new.
Growth
Too
of the
new.
game.
You have a platform you have should to be. Okay, all right, get it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
brand new.
We need more time.
Sorry, Fever's got the next one. Okay, it's in our city. I am gonna watch this Liberty team. I know they lost to the Aces in the championship. Congrats, we love the Aces.
Yeah, it's a good team, too.
We love the Aces. We love a great team. Jeez.
Looking for the three-piece.
Kelsey Plum, friend of the program.
Yeah.
You know, we how does this Liberty team lose? They got three giants underneath. Labali, Jones, and B-Stu underneath. They were taller, more physical, seemingly more talented than everybody else on the court. And they were 7 to 10 inches taller than everybody on the court. And then you got Sabrina doing no looks to be. Look at this in her fresh new shoes that were nasty. The B-Stu falling. And that isn't obviously the only play B-Stu. I think she had 36 points or something in this game.
Filled it up.
She was hitting step back. She was blocking. It's like, this team, this Liberty team, is this the greatest team? Like, what? Is this the same team that lost to the Aces last year? How? This Aces team needs a lot more respect if they beat this Liberty team that I saw. How close do you pay attention to it? We're obviously paying closer attention to it. Last night, we missed a layup to tie this thing with like 6 seconds left, and Connecticut's on get us again. You know, and we seem to have a murderer's row to start this entire thing with the Indiana Fever. But, like, this Liberty team's the greatest team of all time, dude. Is this how this works? And what should I expect out of the season from the W, you think?
I think for the Liberty team, I think they'll be there in the end. They got to take their lumps. They got to go through different points of the season. Like, even the Boston Celtics team that won in 08, like, they went through they were 67-15 or whatever it was, but they learned along the way. And I think this Liberty team has all the pieces, to your point. They can do everything. I think the favorites are them and the Aces in the championship. And by that time, they'll be a different team than when they're starting out right now. So you're still good. You're good.
Yeah, but the Fever, what they're going to be, we're just 4 games into this. They're starting to figure it out.
Bingo.
We got to give the ball a shorter one.
Got to take our lumps. Got to take our lumps.
Well, they're just setting moving screens on Caitlin all over the court.
It's just like Ant. You know, when Ant came in, they're on their way.
They're calling ticky-tack fouls on Caitlin. Caitlin. She's picking up 2 real quick out of nowhere. It's a whole new league. Yep, bang, pow, Angie get a tech. All right, lady. You know, her dad's still sitting inside.
Yep.
Arms crossed, just waiting to let her know. But they're 4 games into this. Caitlin's going to figure it out.
Absolutely.
Now, let's get back to the NBA. Congrats to the Aces beating El Liberty. The Aces would be impossible to beat.
What a title.
I have my eyes on them. I'm like, you're talking about offering Caitlin Clark a big 3 contract. It's like Liberty got a big 3.
Yeah.
They got a
team.
They got a team. They had their hands like this over Aaliyah Boston, rookie of the year. They had their hands like this over Aaliyah Boston, and she just looked like how my daughter looks whenever she's trying to get something and she's not talking. It just bum, 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 bum. And then B-Stu's hitting hezzies. It's like, what is this team's problem? The Aces plus 110 to go back again. Liberty plus 185. Okay.
Two-team race.
Fever only plus 3,000.
Seattle, you see Seattle up there too. That's home now. Seattle Storm.
That's a lot of miles. Flying a lot of miles up there, Seattle. That's might get a little what's that called?
Jet lag.
Jet lag. Yeah. You guys. Yeah. Seattle's going to be tough to win ever.
Yes.
In anything.
No matter what.
So far, I can't believe you live up there. That you travel to Alaska and then you every single time. I love it. I love that you do it, but that's far up there.
It is far, but it's home. I can never leave here, so it's always home. And for me, I'll never leave. So it's the best place on earth. I'll go anywhere from here, though. It has to be from here.
It's beautiful up there.
Oh, yeah.
It was gorgeous. Went up to Oregon a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Got a chance to go
You guys got to come do a show up here at some point.
I don't know how big. I don't know if we're a big. I don't know.
Not a huge footprint up there.
I'm not sure if it's smart. You know, we'll maybe run out like a gymnasium or something.
Yeah. Seahawks fans really love us, too.
Oh, yeah. Seattle Seahawks fans are very thankful for our coverage of their team. Oh, my God. Yeah, probably not. I don't think so. But, hey, shout out Seattle.
Yeah,
Love what
love
you
you,
do.
A lot of hoopers.
Hey,
A lot of
let's
hoopers
say-
out of there.
Where, Seattle?
Oh, yeah, a lot of hoopers.
Really?
A lot of them.
Seattle, a
Yeah.
basketball hub? I didn't know that.
Yeah, for sure. We got Jay McDaniels now, Zach LaVine, Paulo Banchero, DeJounte Murray, Isaiah Thomas, B-Roy, Nate Robinson, myself. The list goes on and on. Doug Christie.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Studs.
What a place. Seattle.
Yeah.
All right, Seattle.
Harder to shoot in the rain.
Weren't people offering up Seattle to Canada a couple times whenever there was like a whole negotiation?
People?
Yeah,
or-
Portland.
Portland.
It was
Oh, Portland. It
Yeah.
wasn't Seattle. Okay, it wasn't us. It wasn't me. I would never do that. Hey, let's stay on the West Coast. Go ahead, Con, man.
Yeah, Jamal, you need to bring a team back to Seattle, first of all, get the Supersonics back in the league. But with that being said, Sean Charania is reporting that the Lakers view JJ Redick, Pat Riley like. I assume JJ Redick absolutely hates that, but that is what Sean's is reporting. What do you think about the situation going over there in LA? Do you think that JJ is kind of a shoe-in for that job? And how do you think that would work out, especially if, you know, the boys were to lose a couple games and they have to go record Mind the Game right after and they don't like each other?
Yeah, I don't know if he's a shoe-in, but definitely having that pod with those two is a great segue for sure, right? Like you understand how LeBron sees the game, how JJ sees it. You see how they see it together. I think whenever, you have a great player like that, you want to have him on the same page with the coach. So if he has a different respect for him and JJ's in the mix, and I know JJ wants to coach. He told me that maybe 2.5 years ago he wanted to be a coach. He loved coaching. So I know that he wants to be a coach. He has a passion for it. He's obviously a brilliant basketball mind. It's just about how those two and how the rest of the team would kind of see things. And I think he would be a great coach. Young Pat Riley, that's steep. Pat Riley, listen, that's pretty steep.
Hey, you ever think about getting the coaching?
I coach 8th grade right now. My team, Rotary Styles, 3rd in the country, 8th grade. So, you know what, though? I'm seeing all these coaches, man. They're getting some big bags. I don't know. It may be time to throw my name in the ring. But now I'm enjoying.
8th grade, are we smacking the floor? What are we teaching? I don't know the development of basketball. Is there sophisticated basketball happening in 8th grade? And how much coaching are we doing? How many plays we got? And 3rd in the country. Holy shit. Hey, let's go. Probably the best. You don't have an opportunity to play your best yet.
And what's crazy is we probably have, this is no lie, we probably have 150 offensive plays. And it's myself, Rel Hennings, and Keith Smith. All of us played Division I. We're not coaching them where they are now. We're coaching them where they're going. And that's the cheat code, right? So we're watching film. They absolutely are dialed in. They'll know terminology. They'll know all types of different things. But it's because of where we know they're going, so we're coaching them towards that. So, yeah, now they're really good, though. Rotary style.
I don't even know if I knew 150 words.
No way.
In 8th grade.
I think you probably did.
I don't think so.
In 8th grade?
Yeah, I remember how dumb I was.
Hold on, AJ, you want to see me as a coach? You want to see me throw my name in the ring? Is that what's going on out there?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Why don't you, well, we got Carlisle.
Let's think.
Oh, yeah, you do. You do got
Start with
Carlisle.
W.
Fever. Need you to fever.
Yeah.
Need you to fever.
Fire
Coach Sides. We're on Coach Sides' side.
We are.
Yeah.
We are on Coach Sides.
Stand by, Chris.
When the Supersonics come back.
They were 13-27 last year. They're 0-4 right now. I mean, the heat is on.
It is.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
especially when you're a fever already. It's
Yeah.
already hot.
And Bluters out there.
Okay, let's talk about this. I got a tweet from the NBA officials. Hey, real deal here. I got a tweet from the NBA officials, the account from the NBA refs, basically saying, this guy tries to say he's Mr. Positive, huh? Be a friend, tell a friend something. This is what I am not joking around right now.
No.
This is a real tweet that happened in real life during our 4-day break. Because the first Fever game, Isaac Barnett, okay, this little whistle-happy ref, calls 2 non-fouls on Caitlin Clark in the first 5 minutes of that game. The only 2 fouls called. And I would assume the ratings went from to we're not watching because she has to go to the bench because she's the only one with 2 fouls already this early. So that was my first WNBA game I've ever watched in my life.
Sure.
And we obviously called for a lot of things on that next day, including Isaac Barnett to be the hell out of the WNBA. Some people were calling for a coach. I was calling for the ref to be gone. And then obviously when the Pacers play the Knicks and there's a lot of against the Pacers, whenever it's in Madison Square Garden, and you got Tony Peters doing his song and dance, and Scott
Foster
doing his song and dance, it's like, well, I need to I need to be the voice of the people here. So I think the officials think that I need to pipe down a little bit and have a little bit more respect. Sounds like you're on my side. You're getting kicked out of 8th grade games. Sounds like you're just wanting a little accountability. That's all we're looking for around here. We expect them to be great because they're already great humans because they're signing up to ref. We got nothing but respect. But with that being said, not everybody gets a trophy here. We got to do our jobs. Is that inaccurate?
Big leagues.
Accountability, a little balance. That's all. Call it consistent. It's a hard job. When my last year in Phoenix, I reffed the players, and they were crying and complaining. I'm like, shut the hell up. Like, I get where they're coming from. But we just want accountability and everything to be consistent. Consistency. And we'll be patient.
That's all we're looking for. That's basketball.
That's it.
And we've been big basketball fans our whole life. We didn't play in the NBA for 22 years.
No,
not that.
But we share similar thoughts.
And we
It
love
makes
the
me
game.
feel good. That's empowering me.
Yeah.
I don't know, that makes me feel
But
great.
it was the real NBA.
Dude, I'm
ref.
telling you, I sent it in.
I just said
Yeah, it's NBA.
Who runs the account?
At official.
Wow, it's a real deal right here.
Dude, I'm telling you, I saw it. I thought I was tripping. I was like, no way is this real. The Pat McAfee prides themselves on bringing positive energy to the world through conversation about sport, which is why so many of us are fans of the show. They're not mad, they're disappointed. But it's far too often the case in today's society. The positivity isn't granted to sports officials. Critiquing decisions, performance, and execution is all part of the sports conversation, regardless of the accuracy of the two foul calls referenced. Making remarks about the individual referee only exacerbates the issue of violence against sports officials. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. These are the actual refs saying, hey, pipe down, pal.
Yeah, what the hell?
I just want to let these refs know, hey.
How did you take that? How did you take that when you saw that? How did you take it?
Well, I don't want to say I laughed, but there was a no way. That was the immediate reaction. Then there was a copy sent right to the group. Look at this joke. And then there was a moment of self-reflection, you know, that maybe these refs, maybe they are humans, you know?
Well, I mean,
You ended it being self-reflective. That's growth. That's evolution. That's good. That's good for you.
I thought maybe they are, you know? And
Yeah,
then-
like you were saying, you know, if you're horse shit, guess what? You're not going to get a pat on the back. That's not the way it works. If you're horse shit, you're going to get called out for being horse shit, and then we move on and we try to
They
do
did say
better.
the 2 calls were wrong in that tweet, kind of.
Well, they kind of admitted fault, but also maybe, you know, just said, hey, take it easy. I would like to let the refs know we will take it easy. And whenever we say one ref sucks, that doesn't mean all refs suck.
no.
You should hear what we say about you should hear what an official NFL ref.
They had a rough day. They had a rough day. It happened.
Terrible. It seems to be happening against the Indiana teams on a regular
Quite a
basis
bit.
from my spectator. But nonetheless, you guys do me, Terrence, Terrence Howard.
Yep, right.
Obviously have done all the science and figured it all out. Reffing is going to get better.
Yeah.
That is what's going to happen in this entire thing, and we're thankful for that Joe Rogan experience.
Hell yeah.
All right, Jamal, we appreciate you, brother. What do you got for the rest of the? We got podcasts. We got time. We're calling more games. We're not doing that. We're doing simulcasts. What do we got the rest of the way?
I'm actually home. We got practice tonight, but I'm actually home. This will be, well, now I leave Thursday. So I've been home one time for 4 straight days in 2 months. So I'm out, man. I'm trying to be like you guys and get in this media space and do well there. So that's my focus right now, that and practice. Spend some time with family.
We will send an invite on a very regular basis over the next few weeks of the season. We appreciate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, Jamal.